You should be able to see chat pretty good this time, sweetie, because it's over here now.
Yeah, come here.
Oh, I think it's because the camera got moved over. That makes sense now.
Squeaky, come. Squeaky. Come here. No, come here. Squeaky, come. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Okay, Asteroid Day is set up. And we go here. All right, we got some people coming in the room, the cool people. Hello, Dawn Shipley.
Hey, Dawn.
Hello,
Shipley,
all
I
you
hope you're
cool.
staying
Oh,
cool.
sorry, sweetheart. Let me get you. There you go. Cue
There
yourself
you
up.
go. Yeah, that's a little tinny. Can you hold her for a sec?
Yeah,
Just because, don't put
I
her
can
down.
bring your volume up too. So, Maria D'Souza, yo yo
How
yo.
funny that I
Dr.
didn't-
Daniel Baker just comes in with a straight damn it, just straight up. Oh, that was the first. Nelson McClintock, Jen Lundy, hello. Jen, in the chat room, you'll have to fill
Hi,
us in
guys.
on the Aaron Rodgers dramas. I haven't been able to follow. Spike, what's going on? Tracy, David Lamb.
Hey.
You guys, it's International Asteroid Day, and the image on your screen is what's going to happen to us probably next week or maybe Thursday.
I mean, you know.
You know, it's going to be pretty good. So, baby, I got to talk a little bit, babe.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Look at me tapping out over there.
Yeah.
On the, what is that about?
I got you too
Test
hot.
1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. That sounds a lot more like me. More like me. More like me. There we go.
Is
there
that
we
better?
go.
There we
Yeah, it's
go.
a little loud.
A little loud. You want that lower?
No. I meant the room was loud. We're all
Okay,
good.
we're good to go. All right, let's say
Yeah.
hello to our lovelies. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Happy hump day. I hope you are humping the hell out of the day. Here's the squeaks. Hello.
Squeaky's been gone since Saturday night. She just got home about 2 hours ago. She was with the god dang dog sitter, Amy.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she just got home. So we thought we'd
There we
thought
go.
we'd show
That
show
makes
her.
a lot more sense.
Show you guys.
So show up, and we got Reese Piece. Come here, buddy. Yep. Reese being a
She's
weird.
like, I got home, I'm done.
Weird goober. We've got
Yeah.
a hell of a show for you guys today. I mean, it could be one of the greatest shows of all time.
Oh.
Hello, Mario. Yeah,
Well, there you
Tracy,
go.
Richard, Steve. Steve, you wait, sir. I made a graphic for you, Mr. Iceberg. And it's, with 7 minutes to spare, I did it, and I'm quite proud of it, considering it took 7 minutes to spare. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's see. What we got coming up in this episode is... Oh, you ready for this, babe?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said what. We have a whole bunch of stuff. We have Siglebrations. This is coming into the summer. We've got Siglebrations. We've got pub dates. We have junkie pictures. We have updates on the Gangster and
Yep.
updates on the Stone Wolves and updates on GFL 7. And then we're going to take some questions and stuff. So if you have questions
And,
that you would want to ask today, I will ask that you actually wait a little bit and put them in the chat room a little later in the
I
day.
added that there because it's a teaser.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we do actually, we sort of mentioned this last week, but we have more T-shirts, not new T-shirts.
What you? Yes. Sorry, that's my bad. I thought she blew the spoiler. It's literally written down right there.
exactly what he told me
Says
to
we have
read,
more
yeah.
T-shirts. I thought it was gonna be something like, we have information on T-shirts, but you will have to wait. Nope, it's written right down there. So.
We have more T-shirts. We'll talk about it later.
What's up, Chorkman? Look at Joshua Loy. Everybody, oh, look at all these great. Jenna
Hey,
Leah,
you
what's going
guys.
on? What's going on? Yeah, Reese did know.
Reese did know about it. She's
Tapped
like,
right
you know
on
what?
out,
I
right on out.
don't work late. I don't work late.
Reese-
I don't even get out of bed for more than 10,000.
Reese's ready
less
to
than
brawl.
10,000
She wants to fighty bitey time. So when I'm like, come here, pumpkin, she's like, nah, let's go. I want to tear out your throat. She doesn't know how to tear out a throat. She's the most pacifist, uncoordinated dog I've ever had. She's cute, though. She's crazy cute.
Hey, Shannon.
Today,
Hey, Mario.
ladies and gentlemen, today is awesome. It is, let's see if I can get this right. Now I'm very confused. Shoot. Base, main. I don't know where it went. Oh, here we go. Boom. Bada bing. It's International Asteroid Day, you guys. And at first I thought this was just another regular old, somebody made up a day. It's not. It's huge. It's giant. International Asteroid Day. Yes, that is Brian May of Queen, which I'll mention in a second. Is a UN-sanctioned global awareness campaign participated annually on June 30th. The mission is to inspire, engage, and educate the public about asteroid opportunities and risks every year. They produce Asteroid Day Live, a live broadcast of asteroid content. You don't want to watch that now. You want to watch us. You can go watch that later. Asteroid Day was co-founded by astrophysicist and famed musician Dr. Brian May of the rock group Queen. Apollo 9 astronaut Rusty Schweickart.
Schweikert.
Filmmaker Greg Richers, and the B612 Foundation president Danica Remy to educate the public about the importance of asteroids. They're gosh darn important, and I just was really excited because it's sciencey stuff. So when this rolls around next year, you guys get ready to do something and go have yourself. It's an asteroid party. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Oh my gosh! You guys ready for my graphic? Is that drink too strong, sweetheart?
It's a little too sour. I did not realize that syrup was
Ladies
sour.
and gentlemen, coming up this Saturday, here it is. Oh, look at it. It's an iceberg with an empty set. I'm so pleased with myself for coming up with that on short notice. The first Saturday night of each month, Steve Iceberg Rickyberg hosts a Sigler Junkies happy hour on Zoom. The next one is this Saturday, July 3rd. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the thing really does go from 4 to 11 p.m. Pacific time. So that gives everybody lots of time to jump in and hang out.
Yeah.
Sometimes A and I make it, most times not, because we're just cashed out from the week and just want to chill. But there's dozens and dozens of wonderful junkies in there. You guys should jump in if you can. And Steve's like a telethon host. He's on that for like most of the time. Sorry about that. Was my throat. My
Was
bad.
it? Okay.
Yeah. So go check it out, and you can follow that link, bit.ly/junkie party, and that's an easy link for you to go find the Facebook page. And I hope that works, but I'm not sure because I didn't have a chance to test it.
Okay.
Let's turn that off right there. And oh snap! Wait a minute. We'll go here first, and we go boom. This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, it's I'm getting a little bit better at Headlines of the Week on Twitch. It's Fridays, 4 p.m. Pacific time. It's only Twitch right now. We'll look at expanding it to other platforms in the near future, but right now, trying to focus on building up a Twitch community because that'll be good for selling books down the road. This week's stories involve nudity, bacteria, human penises, emphasis on the word human, and pachyderms.
I mean, are human penises distinctly different than other penises?
It's important we're discussing human penises in this regard because I would say roughly 60% of the people in the audience probably have a human penis.
Okay.
100% probably have access to one. So, it's important to say this is a human penis issue we're going to be talking about on Friday. Let's go back to Maine. Let's go back to since A is feeding the pups. And what's next? I'm getting a little bit better at this. There she is.
That's what I was doing.
There's a peanut. Oh, look at her.
She's like, where are those treats? I want more of those treats.
We don't even need pup dates today. We got the pups here live.
She has had some dental work. Dental work in the last couple of weeks. And this is her last day of having to eat soft food only. So she's a little hungry and done with all of this jazz and would like to get back to her normal treats and stuff. But
I have to think there's already a band named Human Penis somewhere.
Oh, gosh.
Because the band named Penis is probably taken like in 64. So you had to come up.
Did you see Steven? Steven's comment right here?
No.
On the bottom?
Yeah, put her down so we can hear you talk.
There
it is.
As soon as you started saying that, that's what happens.
Yes, Stephen, fantastic. All right, let's talk a little bit briefly about the books. The books are what keep this show going. I rearranged the book page, baby, and I tried to put in a whole new kind of window. You can't tell, but it seems like it's much more efficient.
Yeah,
this weekend, this Sunday,
good.
the Gangster episode 31, we only have 9 episodes left, including number 31. Then we'll have probably a double dose of Q&A as we get ready for GFL Book 7. So you can swing on over ScottSigler.com, see all of that stuff. I would like to point out that books. I can't. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Lost it.
Steve, you're absolutely correct. Robin Taylor, you pointed this out as well. So I mentioned on last week's SIGLERinPLACE that this past Monday was our first wedding anniversary and my 50th birthday. We had a lovely time. We'll probably talk about it a little bit later.
We'll talk about it a little bit for sure.
But several people mentioned, and Steve just mentioned in the chat, and Robin emailed or texted me on Monday or last week saying it was also Reese's Gotcha Day. Reese came home in 2014 on June 28th. So it's a big day in the Sigler household.
Yes, and you see in the bottom of their newsletter, I wanted to share, I'm going to have a newsletter going out next week with promo for a buddy of ours. I got to blurb his book.
I think we had him on SIGLERinPLACE.
Yeah, he's been a guest on SIGLERinPLACE. It's Nicholas Hansberry Smith, but I'm not supposed to tell you that. And so we got a newsletter going out, and it's going to have, of course, minor updates on the Gangster, which we're always updating, so we're figuring that out. But I am going to start a thing where every now and then I send a newsletter. I'll tell you what I'm reading and give you some reading recommendations. I recently recommended The Power, which I got recommended to me from Maria and Rebecca and loved it. And a couple really good books in there. I'm also sharing some books for once that I did not like. But I say I don't like them, and then I give you reasons you might like them. So if you want to see what I recommend for books, sign up for scottsayre.com/newsletter.
Do you want to talk a little bit about one of the things that we discovered? Because we have different tastes in books.
Yeah, sure.
So Scott and I have quite different tastes in books in several ways, and of course you would expect that, right? I'm a big city kid. I grew up in Manhattan. I grew up in New York City. He grew up in a teeny town in Michigan. I'm a woman. He's a man. All these things, we would have different tastes in books, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm a junkie. That's how I got here because I read Infected and loved it and became a junkie. So we've been talking about it because we had a thing a while back where he was super busy. He had like 3 book deadlines going on at once, and I had that frozen shoulder, which is now resolved. But I couldn't do a lot because I couldn't really move my torso very much, and so I was watching a lot of like TV shows and movies and stuff, and he would say, we talked about this on the show before, he would see like, what idiots love this? And I'd be like, me, I'm the idiot who loves this. I'm like watching it. And we just recently discovered our minds are the biggest difference here. He as he's talked about, long and storied, he has ADHD, and I love what's it called, what's the
Rambling?
Love in the Time? No, yes, but what's Love in the Time of Cholera?
Oh, magical realism.
Magical realism, yeah. I love magical realism, which you sort of get the general idea of the story, and then it by the end of the 400 pages, you sort of understand what it was all about, but it's a little weird. And my favorite book, back when we first met, he said, well, what's your current favorite book? And I told him a book called Winter's Tale by Mark Helprin, and he wanted to read it with me. And that is essentially a book separated into 3 big stories. And he got to the end of the first story, and he's like, "The fuck is happening? Where is Peter?"
No, I was loving the first.
You got to the end of
first story.
Yeah.
I'm like, this okay. Call me a fan of magical realism. This thing's friggin' awesome. And then we switched to a whole other story that didn't involve him at all.
And he was not happy.
And
he's never finished the book.
I put in a lot of work to get to the end of that first book. Even though I enjoyed it, it was a lot of work.
And so what we realized is I think that's not the way his brain is built, because he wants to keep track of whatever he has to keep track of until it pays off.
Yeah.
And I don't. And I find that was a really revelatory thing, because then we're talking about a lot of books that we both like, and he'll be like, yeah, I could never get into that. And we realized, well, of course he can't get into it, because he's paying attention in a different way than I'm paying attention.
Yep.
And then when it doesn't work, he gets frustrated, which he should. So if you guys struggle with a partner or a friend or a parent or sister or brother or whatever about your reading taste, consider whether or not your brains are mapped.
Brains are wired differently.
Yeah.
I appear to be, you can tell from the writing, I'm drawn more towards thriller type structures where the things you're reading most of the time actually matter to what's going to come later. And it's kind of it's a puzzle box where if you're paying attention to the right things, make the right connections, the game is you can guess where things are going. And it's if you guess right, you're delighted. If you guess and you guess wrong, you're like, oh, that author put one over on me. Didn't see that coming. And that's a game I play with my fiction all the time. Magical realism, on the other hand, and some fantasy, not all fantasy, or some horror, especially supernatural horror, is just making shit up as you go along. And that stuff I have found is over the years is great, but is often not for me. It's often not for me.
But also that's a thing where movies work differently. But movies are 3 hours of your life. So they don't work a lot differently, but they do work differently. And he's much more willing and able to sort of stick with a thing like It Follows, which is a horror. It's a horror movie, and it doesn't give you a ton of information at first, but that didn't bother him because finite amount of time.
It's structured in a linear, the information is released in a logical linear fashion. You're side by side with the protagonist, so it's great. Let's go back to books.
Yeah, Shelba's got it. She said A plus B equals C. Yep, I get that.
Yes,
yeah, that's absolutely,
thank you,
absolutely the difference.
I want to say, first of all, of course, Mount Fitzroy, 2417. We are going to have champagne when it gets to 2500. We can't give you champagne. That's illegal and also physically impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
But we will be having it, and you can join us because I think it's just awesome what you guys are doing, reviewing it. We really appreciate it so much. It's so helpful. But today's story is about Earthcore. I went on the Sigler Junkies Facebook page, and I'm like, look, man, one thing that people do when they just can't stand, when they're violently opposed to the book they just read, will be go back and vote up all the bad reviews of other people who didn't like that book. I understand this, but it's bad for business because people come to the page. I need to get that mouse. People come to the page, and the first thing they see are these reviews right here, which are pre-configured for most helpful with most votes. And there were just some very unhappy listeners on the first and third and several of the ones down. Because also people get mad when they read a book they don't like, listen to a book they don't like. They go to this page, they see these like, they do exactly what I do. Who's the dumbasses who like this? And they get mad and they vote things down. And today I went on Sigler Junkies. I asked you guys if you had time to swing over there and like the reviews that were 5-star. And look at this. Look at this. I don't know. This is sexy. So sexy. Like you come to this page, you're like, oh my God, look at the 5 stars. My nips are hard. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy that book. So thank you guys very much. That was awesome.
It really helps us a lot. Are you ever going to use those 2 credits? They seem like they're always there.
I get 3 a month. I'm going through stuff like crazy. So, we got, and then here's a fun thing. My cousin's band, babe. My cousin's band.
I'm
really
enjoying it.
I got it. Where do you want to go with this,
I just want to catch up so that I can see it. It's not scrolling. There you go.
There you go. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back to Maine. So this looks cool. And then I go to here. My cousin's band, you guys. It's my cousin. And that's the wrong thing.
Oh, my goodness. And I'm so glad we got to see that again.
Let's just go through this. Coming up, second Saturday of the month, July 10th, we're going to do it live. We're going to be doing the Avengers with Rob Otto, Empty Set Movie Maven, and Avengers West co-captain. Rob Otto. Rob Otto is old enough to remember when Avengers West was actually a thing. Yeah. There might be Avengers West Coast, Rob. I can't quite remember. Danny Baker might remember too. When they wanted to extend the brand, it was a comic book. I'm devolving.
You're tangenting.
I'm tangenting.
I love a tangent.
But
Scott, less so.
Come hang out with us.
Look I love the Iron Man pug. The Iron Man pug is my favorite. He's like, whatever's happening here.
Juggle the incredibly heavy hammer that he's popping around with one hand because it's all made out of styrofoam. But come join us. It'll be great. We're going to hang out, talk about Avengers because Black Widow is out on July 9th. We're going to talk about Black Widow's second appearance in the pivotal movie Avengers, which is the cornerstone of the MCU.
Yeah,
so there you go.
I'm excited. I have not seen Avengers, believe it or not.
We're going to watch that real soon. But let's talk about my cousin's band, my cousin Merciless. His band's name is Super Weapon, with Severiano Watt on guitar and Austin Farmer on the keys. Just got a new website. Go check it out if you like, superweaponband.com. As you see, if you sign up here with your newsletter, you don't have to, but if you do, you get a free MP3. It's sent to you at no extra charge. There's not a whole lot on this site, but it's pretty fun, pretty geeked up. Got all the social media stuff. Go give the band a follow. You know, there's stuff like this. It's all over the place. So that's my cousin right there. There he's going to play some live music for you. He's crazy. He's out of control. He's a metalhead. All right, let's get back to the main. Boom.
Marlo and Lord, you make a good point. You said your son has ADHD and is quite creative. And I will tell you, I do not have ADHD. My mental distress is different. I am not terribly creative at all. So it's sort of, that makes sense to me. His brain gets to go in a million different ways and make something cool where my brain can follow a recipe like nobody's business.
Good at it too.
But I can't really wing very much stuff. So I think those. I'm not sure if they're cause and effect related, but I do think that ADHD helps, at least in Scott's case.
It's got to be a huge part.
Such a huge part of his creativity, and also a huge part of his frustration. We can't lie about that.
It does. If I had it's what it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If I had less ADD, even like 25% more ability to stay on task, stay on focus, several books that I've been promising you forever would already be done. Because number one, I would have stayed on task longer. Number two, I wouldn't have got distracted by the next project that comes along. When I'm like, baby, we got to do this.
But the other thing is maybe all the stories, like you've been promising us the crypt forever, but if you didn't have the ability to have your mind wander, you might not have ever thought of the crypt 10 years ago. So. These things are kind of intertwined.
Yeah.
They just are.
The wandering mind and the looking at this, drifting off to this, then bringing two things together is I think a huge side effect of the ADD, and is fueled. All of my books are fueled by what if I combine this with this with this with this, and you get something like the GFL. It's kind of all over the place.
And it was an interesting thing for us because we had been working together for a decade before we ended up in a position to date. I found that as a coworker and a business partner, didn't have really an understanding of the way his mind works and doesn't work, and versus the way my mind does or doesn't work, you know?
Right.
And so when we started to date, there was all of a sudden sort of new conflicts and trouble. No, I don't mean to say trouble, but like confusion. And he was looking at me like, are you kidding me? You've known me a decade. What are you talking about? You don't understand. Like, how could you not understand? But of course, you know, the individual relationships and personal relationships matter differently. I'm not going to say more, but matter differently than business relationships. And so we'll stop talking about this and move on to the rest of the show. But I do want to let anybody know who, if you live with somebody with ADHD, if you love somebody with ADHD, and you yourself are unfamiliar, there is a website called, I think it's called Attitude is how you say it, but it's ADDitude.com. And I have been tasking myself for a year now or so.
Okay.
To just learn more and more about ADHD, and it's really helped us a lot because
it's helped a ton, dude.
Yeah, because it's a different thing. Like, you know, I don't like to wear t-shirts like this, for example. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to anybody. I don't like to wear anything that advertises on my chest. Right?
No
boobertising. I don't like it. I don't know why. Doesn't affect our life in one iota of a way, so it doesn't matter. But there are some things that he does one specific way, or he resists me doing a specific way because it does matter. And that attitude side has really helped me. So if you love somebody with ADHD, or you are discovering you have ADHD yourself, check it out.
Maybe if we have time, I'll try and call it up. I failed at that last week. We'll see how it goes this week. Baby, you know what time it is?
I do not.
Siglebrations. We're going to celebrate the Sigler rights. So Siglebrations.
For you.
That's it. There you go. Hit it, baby. Go to town.
So I will start by saying we do have a handful of Siglebrations in the Junkie Picks. So if you are hopeful and wait a little bit longer maybe, because we have a lot. Okay, so Siglebrations today, Captain Travis Ellis. You may know him as the captain, the unfortunate captain of the PUV James Keeling, also known as the Crypt. He has a birthday today.
He's going to have a tough time of it, man. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's going to be the last good day in 2021 for Travis Ellis, because in September, he starts writing the Crypt.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a rough time for Captain Ellis. But happy birthday to you, Travis. OJ, and I mean OJ, Brandon Hill, has a birthday tomorrow. I am going to assume he is with his baby and not his child and not watching this. But Brandon, I hope you have a great birthday, and I hope you have a great birthday weekend. Absolutely fantastic Kraken's quarterback Trevor Haney has a birthday this coming Friday. If you guys have ever been to Sigler Fest, you know Trevor, you love Trevor. We love Trevor, and he's in the chat room right now, and he has a birthday on Friday. So happy birthday to you, Trevor. Mm-hmm. Also, OJ Shirley Bruce, also known
real quick
as...
interruption, sorry.
Hey,
Pondy's in the house.
Scott Pond! This is a huge Siglerbration.
Scott Pond was in ER earlier today, and now he is back with us. So
recovering from pneumonia,
and I think work exhaustion, and saved a nun that is the chosen one from a gang of intergalactic lizard bikers. And of course, you know, when you do that, not all the time do you come out of that without a scratch. Pondy got some scratches.
If you're Pondy.
But that's why he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, but to our hero, Scott Pond, welcome back, sir. Okay, go back to it, baby. Sorry.
So, original junkie, Much Ado, her in real life name is Shirley Bruce. She also has a birthday this coming Saturday. Shirley is, oh my goodness, OG. Absolutely an OJ gangster.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you've been to Sigler Fest, she's been to quite a handful.
What's that, my baby? Okay.
And let's see. Skeptic's Guide Rogue, Bob Novella, has a birthday on Sunday. Bob is a personal friend of ours and is a terrific guy. If you have never heard the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast or seen the book, go check it out. He's hilarious. He's big into Halloween, like nobody I've ever met before. He's huge into
great show.
Nanotechnology. We love him. Happy birthday, Bob.
Great show.
Let's see. You guys all know him. You guys all love him. You guys are all going to have to post that same picture he posted on my my Facebook page on Monday. Kevin Mest has a birthday.
Yes.
This weekend. Send him
The
cigars
boss of
and
bosses.
drinks.
Boss of bosses, Kevin Mest has a
Absolutely.
birthday this weekend.
And last on our birthday celebration, Stephen Jacob, who I don't think is in the chat room tonight.
I don't think so.
But he's
been
often
around
in the chat
forever,
room.
too.
He's also
Yeah.
been around for a really long time. He has a birthday on Monday.
Robert
so.
Brewer says, Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is how he found out about me.
Exactly, yeah.
I gotta get back on that show one of these days. Maybe
Yeah,
next
for
time
sure.
next time we have a book. I love going
Yeah,
on that
for
show. It's
sure.
great.
They're such great.
It's one of the
great
few.
folks.
I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but it's one of the few shows I've gone. I'm like, I'm very dumb. I'm very dumb. So it's a lot of smart people on that show. It's great.
Okay, so if you guys, we are going to have a lot more Sigler in the photos and stuff. So I'm just going to let you guys know if you have anything you want to send in and share. I got a whole bunch of new dog and cat and pet pics. I got a whole bunch of Sigler. If you've been thinking, oh, I got to send that in, do it now. info@emptyset.com. That way our whole summer, which I think we're going to keep doing this for a while, but our whole summer will be filled with all of your beautiful faces and happy times, and let's celebrate
Well,
that.
this remains continues to be a bunch of work for A&I, but we started out trying to give people at least one bright spot a week when everybody was locked down. By the way, we're going to have two bright spots a week. We started out twice a week. We're going to have another lockdown very soon. Get your head around, guys. Just get
Ollie,
your head
if
around.
you're watching,
It's
I know
coming.
you have a lockdown. Ollie, you have a lockdown. Oh, I didn't.
Whatever, man.
Michael, congratulations on your wedding and your gorgeous family.
Congratulations.
I just thought about it. He's on his honeymoon, so he's
Okay.
probably not watching. But
That's all
Michael
right.
Barbaleri in Australia got married this last Saturday, and on Sunday they changed the lockdown requirements, and his wedding wouldn't have been able to happen. So that's kismet. I love it.
David Katulik says, just finished a champion. It kicks ass. I'm glad you like it. That's what I do this for. But we do the show. The show's a lot of work to put on and try and make it polished and worth your time. But now we do it. It's kind of a super fun. It's a super fun thing for us.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of fun too.
And, we had to give up Siglerfest to COVID, and this is kind of a sort of a spiritual
right.
sibling to Siglerfest. So,
Let me go down here.
yes, and Lisa, absolutely, cat photos, all of them. Send me Josie.
Send 'em.
I want to see
Yep.
them all. I want to
Yep.
see them all on your
I am-
head, all up on your business.
I'm
I want to
biased.
see all that.
I'm biased towards dogs, but cats are animals too. So we will accept the cats are animals too.
Yeah, and Tori, thank
Tori,
you for
that's so
saying
sweet.
that. That's
That's so
really
sweet.
special. Tori just said in the chat room, I'll be honest, the SIGLERinPLACE has been one of the best things that's come out of the pandemic. Here's the thing. If we had read that comment a year ago when we were still struggling to figure out how it worked and give you a show that was worth watching, maybe not. But I think we feel the same way now.
Yeah, it's
it
fun.
feels like home. It feels
it's
like
fam.
you guys.
It's
It feels
family.
like family. Yeah.
All right, baby. Now we got to get to sponsor time. What? Bam! Look at that.
So this week, our sponsor, as you guys know, if you're new here, our sponsor for this show is actually a highlight of a charity. It has to be a 501c3 charity. It doesn't have to be global. It doesn't have to be national. It doesn't even have to be about COVID or helping in a broad scale way. It can be very local to you. This one in particular, I chose Heart to Heart International because they were one of the first charities on the scene in Florida this week. There was a structural failure of a condo complex in Florida this week, and there are the Surfside condominiums I think there are now 10 confirmed deaths and like 150 missing human beings.
11 deaths. I don't know about the missing, but I read 11 today.
So I picked this charity because they are still deploying internationally on many fronts for COVID. They are doing relief, like water, food, shelter, clothes, things like that internationally for COVID displaced people or especially for children who have lost their families to the hospital or to death to COVID. And they were one of the first responders to actually be bringing comfort and care to the Surfside condominiums in Florida. So this week we're
That's
going to
awesome.
feature them. We always make a small donation to any people any 501c3 that we feature. We would appreciate sharing or donating or anything like that. We obviously are just doing this to raise the voices of people who are trying to help.
Yes. So I'm slightly distracted now because I've got my pup. So I haven't seen my pup in days. It's very fun. The goddamn dog center, I mentioned before I think all she wanted for her birthday was to see us. And then I want to see you guys, but when you come, could you just drop off your dogs? I want your dogs for 4 days. So she's surrounded by dogs, which is a great way to celebrate a birthday. So Amy's surrounded by pups, including our pups. But I haven't seen our pup in days, and I miss his tiny little buddy. All right, where are we at? Speaking of pups, what? Here we go. Pup day time. Bam. There's watching us, keeping us company, and keeping an eye out for our souls during this entire presentation will be Reese on her side with an extreme close-up of her nose. See, now, this is how cool dogs are. If somebody did a close-up that close to my nose, I guarantee you there'd be a booger. If somebody took a picture, I'd have a big old boogie hanging out.
Can you put us on the screen big for the moment?
Sure.
You guys. oh my geez. God, you guys. So, we had our first anniversary on Monday.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a big weekend. I spent a little time on my birthday in urgent care, getting a wound on my foot addressed because I stepped on something stupid on Saturday. It's all good. I'm totally better. However, Scott was bound and determined to make my birthday, my 50th birthday, and our first anniversary special. So he was like, you know what? Sooner started, sooner done. If you want to go to the urgent care, let's go right now. It was first thing in the morning. He spent the whole stupid day there. Then I came home, changed my clothes, went out, and we're at dinner. We go to a speakeasy, and it's beautiful and fun, and they put us in these ridiculous chairs. I'll show you next week. And then we go to dinner, and we get to dinner, and they seat us, and they know it's our anniversary and my birthday, and there's like the table is decorated with stars and stuff, and we sit down. And the whole time, Scott, as we're walking to the table, Scott is like this. And we sit down, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, we're having the best night ever. What is happening? And he's like, honey, in your right nostril, there's a tiny booger. Just snort. And if that isn't goals, I don't know what is.
Our love is real. Our marriage is real, ladies and gentlemen.
I was so excited that he was like, oh, honey, you're not going to like this. Like, do a thing. That the first thing I did was thank him for telling me, not... But get you a man like that, because I want that forever. Like somebody tell me there's something in my teeth, things like that. I'm all in.
Yeah, you want to be like, listen, priority alert. We got a booger alert. Booger alert at 2 o'clock. Let's get on it. Mission booger removal accomplished.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. We did check our mail today, Nicole. I don't know if you're talking to us in the chat room or not, but let's go back to check. Where were we at? Oh, that's right. This dog with no boogers and her perfectly clean, perfect nose, because she's a perfect dog. Uncoordinated, but a very much perfect dog. Let's take a look at the big pup pick. Since we got Reese and a little pup pick, we've got this. This is how we do when we go out and it's cold, because we got to find that hat. Because sometimes Squeaks gets a little chilly. She's a very tiny dog. There's not a lot of mass there, 11 pounds. So she's just big enough for me to stuff in my sweatshirt. Anybody who sees us on the street and doesn't like it can kiss my ass, because the dog is warm, I'm happy, and I feel like I'm in total recall. So it's very good. That is, and now we got to go to other people's pups. This is fabulous.
Okay, you guys, this makes me so happy. This is, if I understand it correctly, our good friend Martin Joseph Evans, who is also a musician. We see him every time we go to NAMM, the North American Music Marketers.
North American musicians.
Okay. That. So he sent this in, and he says he's dog sitting, and he says he thinks that Rosa, seen there with sunglasses on, definitely has Georgia on her mind. And I love that.
It's so great.
And in the weirdness that maybe none of you get this, of course, Ray Charles was a blind piano player. He wrote a beautiful song, or he performed a beautiful song called Georgia on My Mind that I think he wrote too. And so that's an homage to that.
And then here we got it. Give me a second.
No, I do love Elton Doggo, though.
Pub show. Let's try now. Boom. Yes.
Okay,
oh my
you
God.
guys.
Who are these guys?
These belong to Spike and Becca.
Okay.
This is okay. I love this whole description so much. Brian, I know you're watching tonight. I saw you out there. Our friend Brian actually wrote in, and last week he heard me ask for pup pictures, and then he said I don't get to watch every week because he works nights, but he was definitely watching this week. So we're doing this now for sure, because I don't want him to miss it, because look at these cute puppies. So the tan terrorist is Daisy. She doesn't look terrorist. And the brown terrorist is Clarabelle. And then he says most people just call them Chihuahuas.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think.
Come on, look at Clarabelle. She's
hold
so
on.
cute.
You keep doing this. I now have to deal with drama. The reason Reese is standing here staring at me is because Squeaks is in Reese's giant-ass bed. And Reese wants me to do something about it because although Reese's 22 pounds and Squeaks is 11, Reese will not just boot her ass out of the bed. So go ahead, baby.
So the next photo, can you move it to the next photo? So Brian sent a handful of photos in and he says the bigger black dog is Mama Dog. And dudes, I have all the love in the world for Mama Dog. Look at how sweet she is. He says the tan terrorist is Daisy, the brown terrorist is Clarabelle. Most people call them Chihuahuas. Dude, I would smooch Mama so many times. Look at that sweet, sweet pup. And I love that she has a puppy dog blanket thing laid down. It's super cute. That's the way we take care of our pups too.
Yes. And now we have...
Oh, so you guys have met. You've seen this picture on the left-hand side of your screen before. This is Yasud Murphy. He lives in Alaska with his Papa Mike.
So great.
And he said, I thought I'd give you guys an update on Yasud's progress. He went from just a shy puppy to a whimsical, shaggy ball of mischief in only 6 months, which I love. And he does look like he's a little bit of trouble.
Yes, but yes, I would take that trouble on. Oh my God, look at the ears on this one.
I know, isn't this cute? This is so Ollie. I'm not sure if you're watching. I know you often watch the next day, so I want you to know that we're here and we appreciate you participating, even though you have to watch it the next day. This is Duncan and Devlin. Duncan and Devlin are fosters because Ollie and his family foster kittens when they come in and then they go back out to be adopted. He says Duncan and Devlin, vampires are not safe around them, who they've been looking after for the last few weeks.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
And then they went back just a few days ago back to the shelter to hopefully find their loving forever homes. So I love that you continually foster kittens, and I love that you've named them all literary names.
And then is there one more, babe?
We did. There's one more. I'm so excited.
No, I got to be clicked here, and then I do this.
So these, a few weeks ago, I let you guys know that our good friends, Jenalia and Daryl, who join the Sigler In Place podcast mostly every week, had to put Gizmo, or had to let Gizmo cross the Rainbow Bridge, and they were devastated. But, I'm so grateful for you guys. You share so much of your lives with us, and it makes us feel more connected, just like you guys feel more connected.
Do you know which one Gizmo is?
I believe that, Gizmo is not in this photo. Gizmo went over the Rainbow Bridge.
I see now.
So, the email that I got from them says, it took 2 sweet souls to fill the hole in our heart from losing Gizmo.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Our dear Gizmo. Meet Margot and Oswald, whom we brought home last Sunday. Margot is the gray tuxedo. She's the one on the bottom. And Oswald is the Lynx Point Siamese. We feel like a family again. I have to say, these are beautiful, healthy kittens, and that's such a lovely thing. And I can't believe that you brought home a Lynx Point Siamese. That's amazing. I think they're beautiful. I am so happy they're home with you.
Yes, that is very nice stuff. Let's go back to Maine, and now we have to hit it. It's time for embarrassing junkie pics, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know that there's too many
all these are
Some of
embarrassing.
them might be.
There's
Brian, yours in here, but I love yours. I don't think any of them are ever embarrassing.
There's a couple in here that are spectacular, and I, as the owner of many embarrassing high school and college photos, will gladly call it out when you have done something that's embarrassing from your past. I have no problem with that. Of course, is much nicer human being than I am. Much nicer.
I just don't think anything's embarrassing if you're a kid. You can't vote. You don't have rights. You don't have a job. It's all your parents' fault.
Let's take a look. Picture number 1.
Oh, you guys. You know these are good friends of ours. You know these are good friends of yours. These are the Vizcaras, of course. This is Kim and John Vizcara, and they have had a
hell of a year.
Yeah, of a year and a half, actually. So I love this. John sent this in after last week. So they were home last week, but sent this in after the fact. He says, we took a nice 4-day weekend out to Fort Bragg, California, and the coast. This trip was recommended by a good friend and fellow cancer survivor as create something to look forward to after cardio. Or chemo, sorry, not cardio. Yeah. That's how I feel. Cardio is me. Chemo was John. So he says, the carrot to the chemo stick, if you will. So we booked this quite some time ago as something to look forward to. Timing-wise, it totally worked out. It was Kim's I'm not saying that out loud. It was Kim's birthday. Kim shares a birthday year with me. It was their 23rd wedding anniversary. Congratulations, you guys. It was the end of John's chemo, and it was the successful finish to 3 required surgeries that he had. Yeah.
Nice.
So he said it was really, really lovely and a good getaway and a good thing to look forward to. And I wanted to make sure I read all of that in case anybody, because I know, like Tasha, I know you also would have had to go through, there's lots of folks who are going to face this. I know Jason Reed, you had to do this in your family. I know Jared, you're doing this right now with your wife. So I wanted to share the idea of a post-chemo carrot. In case you guys,
lovely,
in
lovely,
case
lovely.
you like to do that too, and we're so happy, and you guys look beautiful, and I hope this is the place that you stayed. It's super adorable.
It's dope. It does look like though John's got a 6-gun on each hip and comes stepping out of that swing door like, I told you not to hang around my ranch no more. I gave you fair warning, but you just had to hang around. Of course, he has a fetching tie.
I was going to say he's wearing a lilac Oxford and a beautiful pink tie.
To be fair, most gunslingers do not wear a lilac Oxford and a beautiful pink tie.
It's true.
But John would be the exception.
And ain't any gunslinger have that beautiful girl on their arm either. So.
Here we go. Bang. Now what do we got here?
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited by this. Mostly because of the beautiful email that came in. This is Dan the Dolphin Lundy. He's not the dolphin here. He's Daniel Lundy here. He's Daniel Lundy, graduate.
Buddy. Hey, guy.
Here.
Hey,
so his wife, Jen, who is in the photo with him, who I adore them both, says, we had a fantastic weekend. I believe this was not this past weekend, but the weekend before.
Okay, guy.
Oh, yeah. See, we had a fantastic weekend celebrating Dan's graduation on Saturday, June 19th from Columbia Basin College with his AA degree. It has been a 27-year-long journey that took many twists and turns along the way. Despite all that life threw at him, Dan persevered, and I couldn't be more proud. Jen, I'm with you. It's such an enormously lovely thing when you finally do a thing you always wanted to do. And it's so much harder to do when there are other people involved with rules, like you have to go to class and you have to do the thing. So it's huge. And there are many, many photos on Facebook from this. So if you guys are friends with Dan, I encourage you to go look at these photos because they're all brilliant.
It is physically, mentally impossible for me to ever think of him as Dan or Daniel.
You're like, hey, guy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, guy.
Hey, guy.
Listen, guy. I'm Danny Lundy, agent extraordinaire, guy.
If you are in the chat room and do not realize that Scott Sigler sometimes names characters after fans, the gentleman who just graduated is named Daniel Lundy, and he is the inspiration for Danny the Dolphin Lundy, who is Quentin and Becca's agent.
Here we go. And, got to come back to here. There's got to be a better way to do this. Bam.
So this is in the before times, and I just love it so much.
Jets.
So this is Mr. Happy. This is Chris Grawl. Chris Grawl is a special agent of Scott's. He is a SWAT team sort of consultant. He is a SWAT team consultant in real life, but for Scott, he talks about small munitions. He talks about small group warfare. He talks about sort of SWAT team exercises, things like that.
Yeah.
We got a chance in 2019 to go to Chicago. He lives outside of Chicago, and we went to Chicago for one of our nephew's graduations, and he invited us to come spend the weekend.
It was awesome.
So this beautiful thing is actually in his bar that he built in his home. It's a whole pub.
One of the best man caves I've ever seen. It's spectacular.
It's a whole pub. There's a hand-built bar made out of ammunition cases, wooden ammunition cases.
Sick.
So he's put hinges on
Chris,
the top. And
send us in some pictures of that so we can show it off in a future episode.
And you sort of lift up on the hinges, and that's where all the bottles are. It's beautiful. And then there's lazy boys. There's like pennants hanging from the ceiling. There's all these books and movies and this giant TV screen. They've got 2 adorable little dogs. It was the best weekend ever. But I put this picture specifically in here because Chris is a Jaguars fan. But we were not playing each other that day, nor were they playing the Lions on that particular Sunday.
He's a bigger man than I am. He can wear another team's colors.
He was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful host. He bought a Jets t-shirt to wear with me in my pajama pants, as it happens. I didn't realize that till just now. Woo! Woo! And he also had a Lions. I think a Lions hat or something.
Yeah, he's got some Lions gear too.
Which is such a graceful thing to do as a host when you know this guy is coming to watch the Lions in your bar.
This guy wearing no colors but the Honolulu
Good night,
blue.
Marlo.
That's
Thank
it.
you for joining us. Have a great day at work.
Okay, and then we have one more, babe. Bang.
Yeah,
Dang
I love
it.
that so much. I love it so much. I keep this. This is in the rotation on my watch. Like my watch shows
Okay.
photos, and this one comes up every now and again. And I'm like, I don't even wear normally things on my boobs, and he wore things he doesn't care about.
Let's go. Bang. What do we got here?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, snap.
So this, I think, is the only.
Hey, guy. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the part of the show where we sort of talk about quote unquote embarrassing photos. Obviously, everybody who I'm sharing, they sent these photos in themselves. I will say, I don't think this is at all embarrassing. I think this is gorgeous.
Great. This is great.
Here's my favorite. Carmen. If you guys don't know Carmen, this is Mork. She is a Sigler Junkies admin. She is also super important to the Siglerverse and
Yes.
part of the
Secret
Sigler.
Agents?
What?
Secret Agents?
No, the Siglerpedia.
Yeah, big part of Siglerpedia. Big help for us on Goodreads and just
Oh yeah, she's a Goodreads,
And
just like
just-
Janine Carbonara,
yeah.
Goodreads librarian.
was there on book tour #1. Just awesome cat.
Yeah. So she sent this in, and so this is her husband, and this is
Hey,
them
guy.
at 19 years old.
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah, she said, here are the
Wow.
glamour shots I mentioned on SIGLERinPLACE. I was all of 19 years old and talked Guy into taking these. I have to be honest, I think he had more fun than I did. One, oh my God, how are you so polished at 19 years old? Dude, I couldn't, I was a bartender at 19 in Texas, and one day I went to work and I literally only had half of my eye makeup on. And nobody told me until way at the end of the night. And you guys seen my crazy eyebrows. Like, what? How do you know? That's who she was at 19.
Mm-hmm.
That's who she was at 19. What? It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
Yep.
perfect. This is also what Guy looks like this very moment.
that's why I laughed when you said this is them at 19. I'm
This
like,
very moment.
that basically looks like them now. So
Exactly.
Yes.
Glamour shots are not a thing that happened all over the world, but you used to be able to go to a mall, get into sweaty, old, fluffy, glamorous clothes
that other people had worn.
many other people had worn. If you were a woman, whatever you were wearing, especially if it was a jean jacket, you had to pull it for one of the photos. And
Show off some titty.
to this day, I wish I did it. We showed Tori Dupont has a glamour shot from, I think, the 9th grade that we showed a few weeks ago. I am so upset I never did this. This is totally my
me too.
jam. And it
I'm
doesn't
honestly
exist.
upset I never did it either because I need more embarrassing pictures of me from back in the day.
But yeah,
and then
so
I think we
pretty.
have one more, sweetheart, and then let's take a look.
Actually, we have two.
No,
Okay,
Jiminy Christmas.
So if you don't, I don't think you can guess from this photo, but if you have a guess, this is a junkie who is very vocal, very present at Siglerfest. He's a friend of ours. And the next one I think you'll guess.
It can't be Kevin Mest.
It is not Kevin Mest.
Is it Spike?
It is Spike. What?
Well, to be fair, his mouth is open and he's yelling. So I'm assuming
Look at the
it's
next
Spike.
photo, though. I thought for sure you'd get this. Look at that beautiful picture. Look at that beautiful picture. It's so great.
Yes, sir.
And it's so
Yes, sir.
you. It's so you. And this is actually him. He said, so the first one, he is less than a year old. That is a baby photo, and he's less than a year old.
Ah, so good.
And then he thinks he's around 14 in this photo.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Also,
Fabulous.
totally perfect with the like weird late 80s, early 90s
Feathered
good mullet.
Yeah,
like the good
that's a
mullet.
good mullet.
Yeah.
That's a good mullet. I was already going bald at that age, so I wouldn't know. I never had a good mullet. Let's see, and then I think that's
it.
That's it. So we go back to Maine, and we're over here, and then we are at boop, 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 boop. Let's go to. It's time for This Week in Siglerism. Boom, there it is. There you go, Daniel Baker. I probably hit that exactly 7 minutes. I don't even need to look as I'm such an
Brian,
expert.
Spike says 14 and at the skating rink.
Oh, yes, at the skating rink. I'm going to guess.
I love that
I'm going to
picture so
guess
much.
Def Leppard was playing when he took
yeah.
that picture. That would be my guess.
Also, here I go again. On my
V-E,
own.
what? Sorry, that's Wasp. What the hell am I thinking? That's L-O-V.
Yeah.
All I need's my love machine tonight. That's the one hit from Wasp that I'm aware of. Let's take a look at Siglerpedia, you guys. This is great. This is John's work, Gamork's work. Other junkies have helped out. But if you have questions about what stuff looks like, you've got questions about, well, yeah, thanks, baby. block that sumbitch. If you got questions about how the books interlink, reading order, all the stuff that gets asked in the Sigler Junkies Facebook group, it's all here. Sometimes it's hard to find because we've been at this for 16 years. There's a lot of information, but it's great, and you guys should check it out.
Before you look at today in Siglerism, I want to say, if you guys have questions, we're about to move on to questions. So if you have questions that you would like answered in this episode,
Daniel Baker, yes, Blackie Lawless.
Let's talk about them. Put them right now in the chat room, and we'll get to them. And if we run out of time, we'll get to them.
You know
soon.
what, Todd, Tori, I missed the goddamn skating rink too, and I was never a good skater. I spent most of the time falling or waiting for here. Let's have a moment. Let's go back to a moment. My goal at the skating rink when we got to go to one, and they weren't. I don't think we had one in Sheboygan. I can't remember, but sometime I think there was one at some point. It's like a hockey rink right out where we skate around, and I was such a jackass that because I couldn't skate for crap, I could skate in a straight line, couldn't turn, so I would sit by the board and wait for one of my friends or someone I knew to come around
and trip them.
And no, I would full body press, skate, cross block, and just knock everybody down. And I miss that. I miss the music. I miss the fun. Of course, we were all relatively innocent at that age. But man, the skating rinks were good. Plus, awesome sound system. It was great stuff.
I was about to say, sound system for sure. In where I grew up, especially when I was in high school, there was a rink at the mall. And you could go skating at the mall. And somebody, I forget, Todd, I think, said his first kiss was at the skating rink. And that was my desperate, deep wish. I wanted so badly as a freshman in high school. I'd never been kissed, freshman, and I desperately wanted that. Mm-hmm. And I was living in Washington State at the time, and Jeffrey Deaver asked me to the homecoming dance and asked me if I wanted to first the day
Jeffrey
before.
Deaver, the author of Dexter?
No, but okay. I wish. I mean, I'll look that up.
I don't think you want to date that guy. Have you read Dexter?
I read your books and I married you.
Fair, very
That's
fair.
A good point.
Very fair.
But that never happened. We did go dancing. And then, we did go skating, and then we did go the next day to the homecoming, and then he literally never spoke to me again.
Son of a bitch.
Never.
You son of a bitch.
I'm not sure what happened.
It's many years in the past, but son of a bitch. I'm glad he did, though, because I wound up with this, so it turned out great. He could have been like the greatest boyfriend
and
ever.
I still don't
you guys
even know
have like 87
happened.
kids and grandchildren right now.
But I don't know what happened. Like, if you didn't even like the date, why would you never? We had geometry together.
Oh my God, geometry! It's meant to be. So let me, since I don't know how to scroll back in the chat, let's go to chat. You probably can't see it anymore. Hold on, guys. But I can see the chat that's up right now. Joshua Loy question. In the champion, Q tells a team, if you are exceptional individually, you'll be unstoppable as a team. I can't remember who that is an actual football quote by somebody who's not me. So you can Google it, but it's probably God, now I'm blanking out. Coach of the Packers from way back when.
Vince Lombardi?
It's probably Vince Lombardi.
Oh, really?
It's probably. I do an enormous amount of Vince Lombardi quotes. My dad shared a lot of Vince Lombardi quotes when Danny Baker and I played football. So, but that is true. If you are exceptional individually. What's that?
Did movie Maven Rob Otto play football?
Rob Otto played football for Sheboygan Catholic High School, but he opted out. And when they merged with Sheboygan Public High School, he opted out of playing football. He did wrestle, though. He wrestled at 154. 154, which is why Rob is fond of saying, I'm twice the man I used to be. So good. All right. So, this week in Siglerism, let's read that off real quick because it's fun and people put a lot of work into that. Boom. Let's see what we did. Going back, Pookie Chang's a featured character back in June. The ebook and paperback editions of the Dystopia Triptych, comprising in 3 books, Ignorance is Strength, Burn the Ashes or Else the Light. And that is June 30th of 2020. So just last year, there was some new stuff coming out. Those are on sale recently, but I don't have any details. Let's see. We were podcasting The Reef, and we had posted, oh my God, it's all the way back to 2016 already. We had posted about the death of the Gore line. The Gore line was integral to the beginning of Siglerism, beginning of the podcast, where I had a number of people call in, record a message as an MP3. I would put it in the episode and then respond to it every week. But we finally got that was friggin' 6 years ago, babe. That's nuts.
Yeah, and what happened is the business went out of business. It was so
torturous to do that, too.
Yeah, the business went out of business, and it was the only one in existence like it. And you could have like a Google phone or something, but this, K7,
this is great,
would just last forever and ever and ever. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
Google Voice goes, Yeah, R.I.P. Goreline, like Steve Rickeberg says, but wow, did we spend so much time trying to replace it? And the reality was like,
good.
we couldn't get the number that mattered, and the number is printed in several books. So,
yeah. And then all the way back in 2010, we were doing the Ancestor Book Tour at Borders Union Square at San Francisco, California, which was great. That was a double tour stop in San Francisco because we always go to Borderlands Books. They gave me a tour stop when I was nobody, nothing, and I was tiny and little and nothing. And they've always been supportive. So if you're ever in San Francisco, go to Borderland Books in San Francisco and take care of that. And then back in 2008, the super secret mission of death, the SMOD, was revealed as being the first draft of Contagious, which I literally don't remember what the hell that is. So
and what I love so much about that is after the SMOD, Kevin Smith, who I am a big fan of and was super involved in his fandom back when it was huge, he, not that it's not huge now, he started the SMODcast.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was Scott Mosier and him doing it. Yeah.
Let's go. We got about 5 minutes left. We'll go a little bit over since I rambled. Baby, we got some questions. Hit me with a couple of junkie. And unfortunately, guys, I'm really sorry, but I did not. I don't know what the fucking question is. Oh, here we go. I did not update. We stuck. We froze.
There we are.
There we go. I forgot to update. I always forget something. I'm like those carpet makers who always put 3 tiny mistakes in the carpet to show that they are not greater than God. Have you heard of this?
Persian rug makers?
Persian rug makers. Apparently, Persian rug makers, there are 3 tiny mistakes put into every rug to show they are humble in the face of God because they're so freaking good at what they do. And this is one of my mistakes. I forgot to update the question screen. So let's go, babe. What do we got?
So we have from Barbara Cruz. Let me find it again. It was right in here. How do you stay motivated? And especially, how do you stay motivated in this weird time?
Real quick, Robin Taylor wants questions on, so we got to bust that out. Questions! Oh, you've got questions. You want to know things about the Siglerverse, and I might be the guy to tell you. Let's hear some questions right now. Yeah. Okay, what was the question again? How do I stay motivated?
Yeah, how do you stay motivated, and especially in this weird time?
I'll answer the last part first. The lockdown has had almost zero effect on me. In fact, it has made me more productive because I can't go out and do stuff. So it has curtailed music to a large degree. It's curtailed going out and having fun to a large degree. And I'm like,
total degree.
As long as I'm going to be home, I might as well be working. The first part is it gets harder and harder. The ADHD is just a beast. So for me to stay focused for the 3 to 6 months it takes to write a draft of a book is it's rusty nails in the eyes every day. And I have to sit down and be like, I know, because I want to write a graphic novel. I want to write a comic book. I want to write a script. I want to do it too. This week I want to go to LA and see if we can bang in a movie. And I got this one guy who wants to make a movie also. If you've seen that car, that'd be great. I should get this bass over here. This is great. You know what? I'm going to spend all day playing bass.
We are making a TikTok for you. There's a whole TikTok meme where you're like, hey, headed into publishing, and then you wander in, all balls out, and then you hit, hey, what about this? Hey, we're going to do it. It's going to be great.
We'll do that. So
we're TikTokers.
If I actually have a closet with I won't say it's full of hourglasses. I have 3 hourglasses in the closet. I will pull out a 15 to 30 minute or an hour long hourglass and I'll set it down right next to me just to be like, because when I'm like, I am convinced that 2 hours has passed by. I'm sure of it. I'll glance at the hourglass and it's the 50-minute hourglass isn't even half empty yet. So it's like, I don't have concepts of time, but if I obey the hourglass, eventually that lack of time awareness flips to the good side, which is I will forget the glass is there. I'll forget everything is there. And A will come up and say, like 3 hours later, hey, babe, do you want some lunch? And I have to pee real bad because I didn't even realize I was writing and I almost urinated on myself. Not that I should conflate that with lunch, but sometimes that does happen.
There was one Sigler Fest. So when we did Sigler Fest, we would show up at the hotel probably Monday or Tuesday for a show that started Thursday night just to do walkthroughs and prep and final decisions and errands and unpacking and all that stuff. And there was one, and that, anybody can do that. There's nothing special about unloading the truck, but there is something special about writing a GFL book. Like only Scott can do that. So I would leave him in a hotel room and he would check every once in a while. And I could tell one day I was like, I haven't heard from him all day. Like if this mofo is sleeping, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so mad. And I go up to his room, this is ages ago, and I'm like, bang, 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 bang. Because I figure if he's sleeping, screw it. I'm waking him up. And he comes to the door and if he had hair, he'd have looked like Doc Brown. Like he was like bizarrely disheveled and weirdly. The room was super, I think, hot. It was, or because he had gotten too cold with the AC, and just in Las Vegas just turned off the AC because it was too much work to figure out how to turn it off while he was focusing on his book. And I come upstairs all piss and vinegar, super mad. I bang on his hotel room door and he opens it like Doc Brown but without hair. And I'm like, what have you been doing? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Marty, I've been writing, Marty.
Yeah. I've been writing. You told me to write. Do you need help? I'm like, no, it's 7 hours, dude. Have you been sitting at that desk 7 hours? And he says, hold the door, I have to pee. So that's a real true thing, I guess.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. When I was a little kid, I used to forget to eat. And I would come up to my mom. I'd come up to Carol and be like, Mom, my belly, I have pains in my tummy. And she'd be like, and it took him a while to figure it out. And finally, like after this went on for a couple of years, like, no, it's a pinchy pain. It really hurts. She'd be like, baby, did you eat? No, I forgot to eat. Now my belly hurts and I don't know what happened. A couple of questions in the chat.
Yeah, we're going to take them out of order, actually.
Okay.
Will there be Crypt t-shirts? The answer is possibly yes. We are in the midst of shifting our t-shirt possibilities. We told you there would be t-shirts. I mentioned last week that we found... Oh, I thought you were asking me to talk.
Can I nerd out for a second?
Of course.
If I get things to go the way I want them, we're going to fucking unit insignia. We're going to have fucking rank pins. We're going to do all this super crazy shit for the Crypt. Remember, this is not a ship you want to serve on. This is not the Enterprise. No. It will not end well for you, but hopefully we have super cool stuff. Go ahead, Ben.
So the answer is almost assuredly yes. So 2 things are happening in the t-shirt front. One is that in April, we had a no holds barred, let's sell every t-shirt we have. And then in June, we found 5 more cases of t-shirts that somehow got moved to storage instead of moved to here. That was the whole point, and they got moved to storage. But we found them. And I inventoried them today, and I have a handful of people who ordered t-shirts back when the sale happened, and we ran out of their sizes because those mofos were still in storage. So now I have to figure out who didn't get a t-shirt that they ordered back in April, which is only like 10 people. And then I'm going to put them back up for sale. It's almost assuredly going to happen next Wednesday after this show. If you guys are at all interested in planning on that, do not send me an email saying I want this t-shirt. Do not send me an email saying don't do it, because I'll just delete it.
Michael Grace, we got you covered for the next run, but don't send an email right now.
Yeah. And there's all sizes, Simorg. So I don't know which is which, but there
Beth, you're killing it.
There are every size that we carry. We have at least one t-shirt in every single size, which I think was from small to 4X. So, so those will happen. The sale will go live after SIGLERinPLACE next week. And every t-shirt, thankfully, every t-shirt that I think we own will be on sale. Once those t-shirts are sold out, we are moving to an online platform because it'll be we won't have to store it in this tiny place, and it'll be less expensive to ship if you're not US based. That's the big thing. We're working with a company that prints on 6 continents. So you would order essentially locally to get the t-shirt.
Let's do this one right here, and then we'll see how much time we got. No, this one right here.
Oh, sure. So from Jonathan Timms in the chat room, he says, anything more to expect in the nocturnal timeline of things? Pookie and Brian deserve some love.
They absolutely deserve some more love. And if all goes well, right now I am trying to focus my ADD brain on one primary distraction, which is my cousin's band Super Weapon. I'm the manager. Did I tell you that?
You didn't.
Yeah, sorry, baby. I decided to manage my band, my cousin's band, Super Weapon. But that is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's something to occupy the noodly brain when it's going on. But that is the only non-writing thing. And then, of course, spending time with my beautiful wife is very important to me. I must spend much time with my beautiful wife. So we're trying to have more fun doing that. And then I am focused on GFL Book 7. And after GFL Book 7, my entire world will be the Crypt Book 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And we are trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat with some things with the Crypt. It's not a movie. Relax.
Yeah.
We're trying to pull some stuff out of the hat with that, which will hopefully free up more time to create. After Crypt Book 1 and 2, and then GFL Book 8, so that books me up for the next year and a half at least, then we are going to look at possibly a sequel to Ancestor, a sequel to Nocturnal. But Spoiler alert, if all goes well, The Crypt will be a 5-book series.
Yeah.
After I just promised to never do more than a 3-book series ever. So that's where we're at.
So you should not expect two things about The Crypt. You should not expect to see it before 2023. And 2, it will look different than you have ever read it. And that's all I'll say.
Very different.
The book that you know as Crypt Book 1 will no longer be Crypt Book 1.
No, it'll be very different.
Yeah.
Mario, I am no longer with Evan Diamond in the library, but they have a new album or new EP coming out maybe soon. We're not sure, but they're working on one. So hopefully you'll have some new music to listen to from them somewhere down the road. Yeah. What up? One more question.
Let's see. Do we
sheet?
have
We'll do one more on the sheet and then we'll tap
sure.
on out. God damn it, Daniel Baker. No. Not a movie, also not an entire cinematic universe. You're not helping the situation at all, sir.
So Samorg asked how much time which I so much appreciate your phrasing of this question. How much time is there to find the appropriately sized frame for the GFL map? Which means that what she's asking is any updates, specific updates on the GFL. So I think you can probably, actually, this is a good thing, and I'm going to make sure that we figure out how big it is before next week so that I can tell you exactly the size of the poster itself so you can decide if you want to frame it and buy what you need, mat or no mat. The answer is right this moment, as we live and breathe, the gangster is being printed. Which is, oh my goodness, such a fun thing. We spent 3.5 weeks trying to source the right amount of paper so that we could print in the beginning of June. We finally did. There was a paper shortage, as you guys remember from last year in the pandemic around this time. There was a toilet paper shortage. They obviously repurposed mills and stuff, and now there's a wood pulp shortage for paper.
We can't buy a break with this goddamn book.
But we
First
are printing right now.
Then there's COVID. Then we go to the printer. Then there's a paper shortage. It's a little bit nuts.
Yeah, but it's printing right now. So these books are being printed on the East Coast, and we live on the West Coast, and they are all individually signed, stamped, and numbered. So sometime at the end of April, end of July, end of July, they will start headed across the country to us. In the other books that we've had printed, the other books all came from North Carolina. This will come from Michigan. But in the transit, we lost a whole pallet of the All Pro due to a crash on the highway. And there were a handful of other things. So we think the books should arrive the first week to very early in the second week of August. All we will be doing from the moment they arrive until the moment we're done is signing, stamping, and printing shipping the gangster. So I think by Labor Day in the United States, which is September 4th, you should have your books your maps in your hands.
I now have to edit the newsletter because I have already said in the newsletter that comes out next week, I'm like, we have no idea what the shipping date is. But if we have an idea.
No, well, that's what we have. So if you want to say that, you can totally say that. But I can't control that. So the question that Smorg actually asked is, how big is that poster, and when will I have it? How long do I have to shop for a frame? You'll have it by Labor Day, which is September 4th of 2021. I have no idea how big it is, but I'm going to guess it's Heather Thomas poster size.
It should be 24 by 30. It's 24 by 36, but we got to kind of see if there's any room in the margins, etc. Mario, question, just thoughts about renting a place near the printer to use transport time and cost. This is going to take us 10 days. So renting a place near a warehouse would be 10 days worth of hotel expense and food expense, etc. But we've got it locked down. There'll be some info in the newsletter about that. Actually, I got a little info in the newsletter on the warehouse. It's very brief, but it's in there.
We would have to rent a warehouse nearby the printer. We would have to rent hotel space. We would have to rent printers. We would have to do so much work. It isn't the same thing as you ordering a T-shirt in April and me shipping it out the next day. It's a huge operation, and there's been a handful of people. Like at one point, we had 30 people helping us ship the champion. It's a big ordeal, and anything we can do to minimize it, like save money after 2.5 years and do it from our garage, we're going to do that for sure.
Okay, I think we are done, baby. Is there any more questions you want to get to? We've gone over time a little bit.
I think so. Unless you guys have any.
Well, the chat room's coming so fast.
Oh, and just so you know, Sean, staying over at a nearby Junkie's place, we did that on the Rookie Tailgate Tour. We're 50. We're done with that because, believe it or not, it is difficult to work a 14-hour day and then be on, which Scott ends up having to do no matter who it is. If it's a junkie and not a friend, which all junkies are friends, but not all junkies are super familiar with hanging out with
junkies.
Scott.
Come out to an event. They are there to be at an event, and you've got to deliver and make it work. Because even if somebody happens to live locally, we got people. Somebody drives an hour. We've had people drive 8 hours.
We've had people
one way.
We've
to
had
come
people
to an
fly
event.
from Minneapolis. We've had people, Kat
that's
drove
right.
from Vegas.
Yep.
We had Joe Albeats come from Denver to do shipping, all that stuff.
Yep.
So it's a big ordeal, and adding logistics to it doesn't make sense. I know it feels like that would save 10 days, but it doesn't make sense to add logistics, time, and money.
It is time for us to tap on out, honey bunny.
All right. So you guys know next week we will have junkie questions. Again, if you have anything you want to share with the junkies in this room, anything you want to share with us, anything you want to see celebrated on the live show, info@emptyset.com. Send sponsor ideas, questions, embarrassing photos, dog pictures, junkie pictures, celebrations, anything like that. You want to say, where the heck is my book? Info@emptyset. Everything's info@emptyset. Please send me all your pretty pictures. And until then...
we will be back Wednesday, June 30th, and it will be a day. I'm not sure what day it will be, but we will
today is Wednesday, June 30th. I screwed that up. Yes. I do the script. I always forget this.
We'll
I
be
always
back
forget this.
July 7th?
We'll be back on July 7th.
July 7th, there will be a day we celebrate. I don't know what that day is yet, but we'll find a good one.
Probably something to do with food, because now it's been 2 weeks where we haven't been eating.
ABEOC. Always be eating on camera. That's how you win the awards.
Pondy. My good friend Scott Pond, please feel better.
Yes.
And for the rest of you. Until then, until next week where we have a special day you don't know yet, we want you to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
We absolutely need you to stay science.
And for the love of science, the Delta variant is coming for you. Be prepared. Be aware for the shutdown. Be ready to stay in your house and behave properly as a citizen of the world. And it will come for you, but until then, we want you to stay science. I feel better. I feel better.
Are we kissing them off?
Yeah, you can all just kiss off into the sky, you sons of bitches. Here we go.
Love you
Ready?
guys.
Hey.